Hello, everybody, and welcome to Soligenix's channel. Just want to let you guys know what we're going to be doing here. We're going to be running through company updates, industry updates, answering any questions you guys got for us during this, and of course, introducing members of the team. So who better to kick us off than Dr. Christopher Schaber, CEO, President, and Chairman of the company. Chris, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me, Michael.
Good, good. Glad to have you here. And I really feel like the best way to kick this off is to paint a picture of yourself, talk about some of your past experiences, and what really motivates you as a businessman.
I'll try to keep it brief. I've been in this industry for over 32 years. In big pharma, started my career, then moved into startup companies, biotech, co-founded a company and advanced that. And all my experiences have been in the orphan rare disease setting, areas of unmet medical need in oncology, inflammation, neonatology, so a wide breadth of experience. And I started my career really on the ground floor in manufacturing and process development, and then moved into various operational roles up through the organizations I was with, from the regulatory interactions with FDA through the quality, operational, in clinical trials, as well as through to commercialization. So over those 32 years, quite a bit of diverse background and interactions with various parties and departments. But all in all, I think that's helps, as you probably would agree, helps shape kind of your, ultimately, if you're going to be a CEO, you want to understand what you're managing and what you're moving forward with.
Yeah, definitely agreed. And so I'm curious, obviously you're tackling some rather large issues here at Soligenix, and you've done so in your past. What motivates you to do that? Is there a personal element to this?
Oh, I think there always is, right? I think, when I look back, when I was younger, I had family members with rare diseases, a pediatric rare disease that really started to get me involved in the sciences and trying to understand, like whenever a family member develops something, right? You're out there looking, say, what therapies are out there? Is there something that will help them? Understanding the disease better. So I started from that standpoint. And then as I got involved in the sciences and got involved in understanding drug development, then it was something that really I became passionate about. And in my later years, as I was in this field, my father developed multiple myeloma, which is a blood cancer, and it allowed me to, again, educate myself even more in those particular diseases and try to expand and see if there are opportunities to treat, whether it's the disease or a side effect of the disease or something associated, just to try to help patients, right? And at the end of the day, I think when you speak to anyone who's in this field, it's ultimately about helping patients, right? And all the other accolades come along if you're doing your job and helping people, right? And that's always been my focus, my team's focus, and that's what drives us every day to get these therapies across the finish line.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely true that these diseases have affected everybody, whether it was you directly or your family members or a friend or so on. We're all mortal. We all come down to some things. It's always good to have people fighting on our side. So with that, let's turn the story to Soligenix. How did you get involved there? What made you get involved? And now, how's it been being there for so long?
Yeah, I've been with the company for over 15 years. I left to join Soligenix and was really charged with building out a pipeline. And what really intrigued me at first is when I first was looking at the company, they were developing a drug in graft versus host disease, which is essentially a side effect of multiple myeloma. So as I touch upon, my father's going through multiple myeloma treatment, talking about transplants to help his cancer. And then I come across this company that is developing something which is a side effect of the treatment for multiple myeloma. So that intrigued me, and I joined the company and ultimately started to build out a pipeline focused in rare diseases and adding a development team, a number of individuals I worked with in the past, worked with me with other companies that I brought along. So as you know, just as important as the drug therapy and the pharmacology is getting that team that has the experience to do what you need them to do. And when you have people that know how to do that, can multitask, can wear different hats, especially in a small biotech company. You want to keep bringing those people with you. So that's what I was able to do here at Soligenix. And over that time, we've really advanced multiple therapies across a number of indications. Our lead one is currently a oncology indication. It's called cutaneous T-cell lymphoma, or CTCL, which is cancerous lesions on the skin. And we've developed a therapy now to treat that disease, not cure it. There's no cure, but treat these lesions. Yeah. And we had a successful phase 3 clinical trial, which is the trial for registration, which supports a new drug application and trying to get that approval with the FDA. So we now have a positive phase 3, and we'll be filing that new drug application with our lead program a little bit later this year in the second half.
Yeah, wonderful. I'd like to dive into further therapies and such on the deep dive video, but I guess to wrap things up, talking about you specifically. So rare diseases, I imagine there's some obstacles and challenges in the fact that they're rare. So over the course of your tenure there so far, what have been some of the challenges you've had to face?
You know, I think with any, first you look at the pharmacology of the drug, right? You try to match that up with the diseases. Many times, you start out looking at one disease and you realize the pharmacology is maybe not ideal, in that you then look for other targets. So I think it's always important to find a target that elucidates the signal and gives the drug the highest likelihood of success in helping people with a particular disease. With orphan diseases, as you would imagine, there's not a whole lot of patients out there, right? So you really have to understand the disease, the patient population very carefully, right? So speaking with those key opinion leaders, those clinicians in the field, quite honestly, many times speaking with patient advocacy and trying to understand the patient side of things. And, you know, so we ultimately always do that and make sure we're educated and knowledgeable about the area we're moving in. And it's a continual process, right? You're always learning something new, no matter how long you've been working in a particular area. And I think it's always helpful to gain perspectives, right? It's not so it's just as important to gain and understand the technical or scientific perspective as is to gain the patient's perspective, right? And what they're looking for. So I think if you have that overall understanding, then you can more effectively move a program forward. But then it comes down to enrollment, right? Then you need to enroll patients and you need to identify the best patients for the study. And with the rare orphan diseases, many times that takes a little bit longer. So you need to be able to go to institutions that understand the disease, or maybe that certain patients with this disease typically will go to, and know that you're going to have some of those little delays or hurdles you're going to need to jump to really drive forward. But at the end of the day, if you're doing things correctly and the team is working together, you ultimately get there, and you try to do it as rapidly as you can, with also maintaining a high level of quality so you can achieve what you need to achieve.
Yeah, Chris, I think you did a good job illuminating what it is you're bringing to the table here. You talked about your past experience, talked about here your time at Soligenix so far. And like I said, on the next video, I'll love to dive deeper into the company. But for now, everybody, if you guys have any questions for Dr. Christopher Schaber here, let us know and we'll happily answer them on the next video. But for now, stay tuned for another one coming soon. Chris, thank you so much for your time today.
Michael, thank you for having me. Pleasure.